Night falls on the open sea, and the water stops breathing. Wind scrapes the surface like a steel file, each gust shaving heat from waves until they shine with a glassy sheen. Out here, weather is a sculptor with a single chisel, cold. Tonight, its masterpiece is silence. Meteorologists have a colder name for this kind of night, an Arctic outbreak, a sky-deep river of polar air spilling south. It drags temperatures below the freezing mark and slams humidity to bone dry. Over saltwater, that dryness matters. It drinks warmth, accelerates evaporation, and primes the sea for crystallization. High above, the jet stream kinks like a torn ribbon, opening a corridor straight from the pole. Satellite loops reveal a pale tongue of frigid air unfurling over dark swells. That contact zone is a battlefield. Every whitecap that bursts is a tiny surrender of heat to the void. When the surface finally buckles, it happens in whispers. Needle-fine crystals, called frazzle, bloom invisibly, suspended just below the chop. As they multiply, they exhale latent heat and reject salt, thickening the brine that slips downward like black ink. The water turns heavier, denser, primed for strange architecture. Frazzle crystals begin to stitch into grease ice, a slick gray film that deadens waves like oil on a wound. The ocean's roar mutes to a hush. Each passing gust presses the slurry into rafts and ribbons, a skin beginning to form on something that should never sleep. Then come the pancakes, round plates born from collisions in the restless slush. Their edges curl up, ridged like teeth, proof of ceaseless impacts under a starving sun. They multiply with unnerving speed, coalescing into flows. The sea that once flexed now clatters, porcelain knocking porcelain in the dark. Inside growing sea ice, tiny veins open, brine channels, labyrinths filled with salt heavier than the sea below. That brine drains downward in silvery threads, turning the underice into a chemical underworld. Nearby water is supercooled, poised below freezing yet still liquid, waiting for a trigger more ruthless than temperature. Where a brine thread leaks from the ice, the ocean makes a decision. The spill is so cold and salty it flash freezes the fresher water around it, building a hollow tube, a brinicle, descending like a glass dagger. It thickens inch by inch, gravity tugging a frozen finger toward the seafloor. Time-lapse makes the brinicle look alive, creeping with purpose. When it finally kisses the bottom, its plume spreads along the ground, a freezing fog rolling low. Creatures that cannot outrun the spill, urchins, brittle stars, small fish, are seized mid-crawl, encased in rime. The ocean writes a quiet obituary in ice. Elsewhere, the wind performs a cruel opposite. It opens Polonius, wide, black windows in the pack ice, by driving new ice away as fast as it forms. Those windows vent heat like a lung, fueling snow squalls and frosting nearby decks. Night after night, they refreeze, reopen, and feed the storm. In Antarctica, katabatic winds roar off the plateau, gravity-driven torrents of air colder than thought. They strike coastal bays, scour them bare, and keep Polonius breathing all winter long. Satellites watch their rectangular signatures blossom like bruises. Meanwhile, beneath the skin, a production line of ice never sleeps. Stand on the breakwater and you will see the ocean seem to burn. See smoke, ghostly vapor, coils from the surface when air is brutally colder than water. It is heat, fleeing. Each white streamer telegraphs one more heartbeat lost, one more degree surrendered to the endless sky. Under polar night, the horizon becomes a liar. Temperature inversions bend light into looming ships, distant cliffs, and pillars that never existed. While the sea locks down, the air builds mirages, a haunted theater above a hardening stage. Sailors learn not to trust anything but the cracking underfoot. Listen closely, and the new ice speaks. It booms like distant artillery, twangs like a bowed cello, and chirps as trapped bubbles skate through thickening sheets. Those noises are pressure telegrams, warnings of a living crust tightening. Every note means another fracture sealed, another doorway for the ocean slammed. Stories talk of wind chill freezing the sea, but wind chill punishes skin, not water. What the wind truly does is strip heat and accelerate evaporation, letting real temperature finish the job. The freeze is physics, not folklore, yet it feels like a curse when the process outruns escape. As flows collide, they do not politely merge, they grind. Edges buckle and thrust upward into pressure ridges, blue slabs stacked like blades. Below, matching keels dive deep, scraping anything in their path. A calm white plain hides a fortified war zone, armored walls shifting with every tide and gust. Where rivers enter winter seas, freshwater plumes lace the surface with delicate gradients. Frazzle blooms fast in those bands, then snags on stones and pilings to form anchor ice that grows upward from the bottom. Channels clog with glittering chains, choking harbors, silencing hulls, locking small boats to their moorings. Wind tears new leads, long scars of open water slicing the pack. For hours they breathe fog and warmth, then, with cruel efficiency, glaze over again in black ice. The cycle repeats, building thickness in pulses. Each refreeze is a harder shell, each reopening a colder invitation to trap. From orbit, passive microwave sensors read the sea's changing skin through cloud and darkness. They map concentration, motion, and growth, revealing rivers of ice surging out of capes and along currents. The data looks abstract, but to mariners it is a heartbeat map, a living chart of narrowing options. Beneath the lid, submarines prowl in cathedral gloom, their sonar painting ceilings of daggers and domes. They avoid pressure ridges that pierce down like spears and search for thin skylights to surface. A brinicle will not pierce steel, but a careless rise into a keel can crumple pride to scrap. Life endures inside this moving prison. Seals memorize constellations of breathing holes, diving and surfacing with the rhythm of tides. Algae bloom in brine channels like neon gardens, feeding tiny grazers that feed larger hunters. Even in the coldest chemistry set on Earth, a food web hums, jeweled and fragile. Yet the brine's descent rewrites local destiny. Where dense plumes pool, oxygen thins and temperature plunges, creating patchwork dead zones beside thriving pockets. A few meters decide fate, one side a refuge of slow heartbeats, the other a trap. Freezing is never even-handed, it sews winners and casualties together. Out at the margins, ships meet a sledgehammer mosaic. Slush chokes intakes, pancake fields grind hull paint to bone, and rogue waves fling freezing spray that turns ladders to glass. Every hour on watch weighs heavier. The ocean is not merely cold here, it is armored and opportunistic. Freezing spray is a quiet assassin. Droplet by droplet, supercooled mist plates decks and rails, stacking weight high where ships can least afford it. A top-heavy vessel answers the next roll with a sickening delay. Crews fight back with mallets and salt, racing physics with bruised knuckles and breath. Even temperate coasts are not immune when Arctic air invades hard. New England harbors steam at dawn, then cinch shut by night as skim ice welds moorings to wharves. Marshes flash freeze, trapping reeds in crystal lacquer. The sea retreats behind a mirror, and fishermen count hours by fractures. Old photographs show horse teams on harbor ice, recent winters added their own chapters. During notorious cold snaps, bays locked, ferries stalled, and breakers sat still under rime. The timeline is uneven, but the memory is precise. When the wind chooses, saltwater yields, and entire coasts hold their breath. Deep in geologic time, our planet flirted with a far more absolute stillness. During Snowball Earth episodes, feedbacks magnified ice and brightened the planet, reflecting sunlight, freezing oceans nearly from pole to equator. Life shrank to refuges under ice and by vents. The lesson lingers, weather can become world. Closer to our age, the little ice age tightened winter's grip. Sea ice pressed farther south, storms bit harder, volcanoes and quieter suns tipped balances. Harbors counted more frozen seasons, and paintings captured ships imprisoned mid-voyage. Society learned the arithmetic of firewood, fat, and distance when water turned solid. At the fringes of ice shelves, hidden rivers of supercooled meltwater slither outward. They seed platelet ice, tiny disks that accrete like frost feathers under sea ice, thickening the cover from below. The ceiling gains buoyant armor, the underworld grows brighter. Even darkness invents ways to become more absolute. Paradoxically, a warming planet can still deliver colder blasts locally. As Arctic temperatures climb faster, the jet stream sometimes loosens its leash, wavering, stalling, and letting polar air pour over open water. Those episodes brew sea smoke, grease ice, and hard lessons anew. Variability sharpens, planning must sharpen with it. Winter storms do not sleep either. Arctic cyclones shatter new ice into plates, then herd it into ridges that tower like wreckage. The aftermath is a labyrinth of traps, thin leads beside knife-edged walls. Each refreeze welds the maze tighter, and the next gale rearranges the locks and keys. Under thick flows, channels meander like hidden streets, carrying brine and melt water in opposite directions. Divers describe black rivers edged with feathered frost, streams flowing beneath a city of glass. Navigation is sensation and nerve. One misjudged fin kick and the roof narrows to a white, unanswering fist. Remotely operated cameras show the slow theater clearly. Brinicles shedding glitter, amphipods drifting like ash, and silt ripples freezing in mid-gesture as the plume arrives. The footage looks staged until you remember there is no director here. Only chemistry, gravity, and time, rehearsing the same fatal choreography for centuries. On shore, communities adapt with stubborn grace. Icebreakers chew lanes, fishers swap nets for ice saws, pilots read cloud and smoke as if forecasting from a book of ghosts. Electricity hums where whales once breathed, yet the dependency is the same: understand the freeze, or be written into it. Know the omens if you work the water. When sea smoke thickens and pancakes rattle like china, when spray furs the rigging before sunrise, when leads glaze faster than a kettle boils, turn back. In this theater, arrogance is ballast you cannot afford. Respect is the only warming current. Last, dawn crawls over a locked plain where waves used to breathe. The freeze holds everything in a deliberate grip, a paused heartbeat stretched across miles. But nothing here is truly still, it only waits. The next wind will choose what cracks, what survives, and who hears it first.